Hi everyone, I'm Steve Krause and welcome to Writing 121, Researching the Public Experience, aka First Year Composition. I'm gonna try to keep this video very short because what I really want you to do is read the syllabus on your own. Look at what the syllabus says, look at how the course is set up, look at some of the first assignments, and ask questions that you might have about any of this stuff below. And I want you to read it on your own, in part because I'm not sure everybody watches a long video of me reading the syllabus, but also because you need to be responsible for that and read it yourself. Just a couple of highlights though. A little bit about me. I've been teaching at DMU now since 1998, and I've been teaching online for probably about 15 years or so. So it's a format I'm very comfortable with. I've been using this long before COVID, and hopefully the experience will work out well. It's worked. I think that it works out really well for most students in the class. There's a couple things to keep in mind though about the online format. The first thing is that you have to be responsible for your access to technology. You can't, under no circumstances, can you not be able to get access to the class because your computer's broken or because your internet's down or something like that. You always have to be able to do that. The other thing is that you have to be mindful of the schedule, because since we don't meet at a particular time in a particular place every week, it means that you have the flexibility to build your own schedule. But sometimes what happens with that kind of flexibility is that people forget and they don't actually do it. So that's something that if you haven't taken an online class before, that where you could do it whenever you wanted within a certain time frame, like a certain day or something like that, that might be something you might need to work on. The other thing that I want to highlight in terms of the online aspect of it is you have to check your email every single day. And I don't know exactly what happened, but a few years ago, students stopped doing that. And one of the things I've noticed is that um, it's a problem because it's the only way I really have to communicate directly with you. I'm not going to text you, I'm not going to call you, I'm not going to visit your house. The only way, if something is missing or you handed in something wrong, or if I have to give you an update on something or whatever, the only way I have to communicate with you is via email. If you're not used to checking your email and you don't respond to an email that I send you for like days and days, that could be a huge problem. So make sure that you actually read your email. The class is divided up into three portfolios or groups of work about research writing. The topic for research this semester is going to be on social media. We'll get into that in a little bit. And it's not so much a class where you're going to do one big, huge research paper. It's rather a class in which you're going to do mostly a series of smaller essays that work towards, that are about one topic. And that topic is whatever you end up focusing on having to do with social media. And it's a lot of writing, and it's a lot of research, and it's a lot of reading. But I think that by the end of it, you'll see that it's also kind of rewarding because you're going to get a level of expertise on what it is that you research, and you'll learn a lot more about writing that'll be useful for other classes that you take and writing that you do beyond college. Okay, so let me give you a really quick tour of how the website is set up, because I set up my Canvas course shells a little bit different than some people do. So watch this. Okay, this is what you see when you log into the class. The first thing I want to point out is that you might realize there's not very much over here. I don't have modules or discussions or any of that kind of stuff. And I would also strongly discourage you from paying attention to this to-do list. Ignore this, okay? What you really want to pay attention to in terms of the schedule is this page right here. So for example, you already found this. Today's August 30th, or the class starts August 30th. You've already found this, so you sort of look at that. Then the other thing is required and graded discussion, introduce yourself and your peers. So you click on that and read through this, and basically I'm asking you to tell us a little bit of something about yourself. And you're not going to see other people's posts until you write one yourself. Once you write or post and hit reply and write this all out, post a reply, then you will see what other people have to say, including a post from me. You'll also be able to respond to other people's posts once you post a response yourself, and that's important because that's part of the assignment. Just again, to click on the getting started with social media, these are both things that you're going to want to do at the very beginning of the class. This is a very short kind of reading about trends in social media, from a group called the Pew Research Center, and this is a about the 10 facts about Americans and Facebook. Because again, the big theme for this semester is going to be social media. Of course, you're also going to want to read the syllabus that I was just talking about, and this is where it is, and it's kind of long, but you do definitely want to read through all the details of it. Think of this as my contract, my arrangement with you about how the class is going to go and what we're going to do. So, it's kind of like important for you to read it over. Keep in mind that in order to pass the course, you've got to turn in all the major assignments, and here's some stuff about grading and some other sort of fine print issues at the bottom there as well. Now, return back to this. The course will go along. We'll start doing, again, things are becoming due right here the first day of class and the first week of class. And each one of these links typically represents some kind of reading that you have to do, requiring graded discussion, and some sort of exercise that you have to write. So, for example, we'll start peer review on September 22nd for the topic proposal essay. That's the first essay type object you're going to have to turn in for the class. The first group of short writings assignments is due on October 18th, so it's a ways away. The next second big group of assignments isn't due until November 17th. And then there's a last portfolio due very at the end there. And there's no final or anything like that for the class, but anything that might be remaining, like revisions or work turned in later, something like that, has to be turned in by December 15th. And that's my brief little introduction. Now is your chance to ask questions. So be sure to ask questions in the discussion below this video. And be sure to get started with the other things about introducing yourself. That discussion, that's a required discussion. It's part of the grade. You want to post your initial response and respond to 2 of your peers before start on Monday and finish by Wednesday in order to get an A for participation. And you want to start on the next conversations about social media, start on those on Wednesday and finish them by Friday. Make sure that you post 2 responses to your peers on those 2 to get an A for participation. Looking forward to a semester. Hopefully COVID will cooperate. Cross your fingers, knock on wood. But we'll get through it together one way or the other. Okay, let's get started.